Alright, for whatever it might be worth, I'll try to put on the YouTube a video of my emails. I will start. I have no idea where the fuck I should start, so I'll just start with where I started numbering the Verlautbarungen. That would be here, 12th of October 2015. This is in the middle of, context-wise, in the middle of all manners of. Let's start with 1st October there. 1st October. I won't say anything. I won't read them out. I want just the text to be seen. And typically these are all the regular recipients, though some of them tended to blackmail me, not blackmail me, to blacklist me in the course of the sending. As you can see here, returned mails, rejected, blah blah blah. I'm blacklisted with some of them. So I'll just want them to be seen on the screen, and I won't say much. So this is 1st of October. There you go. What video does that take you to? Where the video links are, I will click it. It takes you to Message of Fix Mundi especially, but not only in the USA. Here again, I'll just scroll this somewhat slowly so that you can pause it and read it on the screen of YouTube. Yeah, there's not much to be said. There was a longer one. This is part of the. I know that there's an opportunity. Sorry, that was today's video. In that particular email, it was the then current, by the way, world entries. As you can see here, the last time I wrote something into the document was the 15th of December. I've not so much neglected it, rather than just figured, apparently that does no good. And as the insights became more and more and more and more, I tried to, for a while there, and you will see this in the emails as we progress, what you see here is not really Japanese. It is actually just plain English text written down in the Japanese signs. So you have to just take these signs at the syllable face value, so to speak, to make sense. I also did that with Russian somewhere, because I happen to have the Japanese and the Russians installed, and even Ainu, which I never tried. So this is the by the way, world text document. So let's go back to October. There we are, somewhere here. So this is 2nd October and 1st October, there. So this is the document by the way world. Incidentally, I forgot to mention this in the video earlier today about the proxy fields and what they really do and are, or really are not, pertaining to the war games. They might have, I have the impression, I can't escape the impression, that they have started to mass connect someone to all of Europe again, or at the very least all of Vienna here, as they did in the past. I just want that mentioned. It may very well again be the bloody Americans. I couldn't tell really. They've done it a little differently now than they did it in the past, but it seems mass connected on a one-to-one basis or thereabouts. So this is that. I'm talking too much about these. Here it's just more. 6th of October. This is all there is to it. Here are I'm not going to click all of them. It's just basically the links to all of my videos on YouTube at that time. The 11th of October. I'm not going to click that open because it doesn't really matter. It's the national football squad for Freiland. 12th of October. 15. And some of this pertains to the, by the way, World document. If you never saw that, then chances are none of this makes any sense to you. Maybe you saw it only doctored and lied and manipulated and whatnot. I did a video on that email, I recall. I think this was what the Bitcoin intellect shit was about. Yeah. Oh, the Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, the Bitcoin Khan. This is funny. I'm going to talk about that a little. It occurred to me that what might have happened was the Bitcoin Khan, in her full awareness, might have actually, in whatever degree of pondering, figured, well, maybe there's something to this Scientology shit and this Dianetics that we only use like 10% of our mind. Wouldn't it be awesome if I, the great bitch queen, were to free up these other 90%? And she actually must have went and bought that Dianetics crap. And the interesting thing is, as some people in all of this play what I call monodirectional opposites, and if you don't know what that means, then don't even bother trying to understand it. But there is logic in it, trust me, unfortunately. What happens is, if you imagine new Jews, mankind extinction wishing Jews, which she is a direct, first of all, spawn of, in the sense that her fathers or her father or mother or whatever were those, but is also a product of, because of the anti-life equation that her parent generation and the other new Jews worked, she being the first bitch queen to rear her ugly head. The interesting thing is, a sort of kind of monodirectional opposite of new Judaism, let's call it that, would, interestingly enough, be something that very closely would resemble, theoretically, all of that bullshit that the good L. Ron Hubbard pulled out of his ass crack. And what would happen is, if you would read, if you were the bitch queen Khan, and you were reading, for whatever fucking reason, Dianetics, say, and especially if the Bizarro workings had already been in place, what would happen would be that it would, for your own practical purposes as the bitch queen, become something like bitchanetics, so to speak. And it turns out that there's a high possibility that fucking Khan bitch queen actually, to whatever extent, went and bloody conquered all of that non-jurge of Dianetics and whatever crap idiocy. I just want that as a little side mention, just because there was the intellect bitch queen thematized. I'm talking too much, sorry. I will just, here's one with a little scrolling. I'm not sure if I actually butted opening these up on some video or other. It's just some reparations for Freiland. And the DC thing, by the way, all things DC are reparation to Freiland. All things DC are in ownership of Freiland. I want to point that out. No things DC work anymore, as of mechanisms what they've worked, and there's tons attached to that. I'm not going to click into the gas stations. That is Freiland energy related. There's more bitch queen here. More entries. Well, you've seen them in the, by the way, World document. More entries yet. Here's Verlautbarung. All right, I started the Verlautbarung numbering here. Just click on them, or just click pause as you're watching this. I can't myself read this here. I don't quite, I mean, I don't even know precisely what the topic was around early November. It makes sense if you just take these at face value, so to speak. The reason why I did that was because I wondered if they had automatic word swapping in place on the way, say, to the mail server or from there onwards or wherever. Especially if they have drones operating there, it goes quick as shit. So I figured I'll try to throw them a little by trying to use kanji at face value, not what they mean in Japanese, really. I figured they would have caught on to that pretty quickly. I tried to tell him who the fuck I am, where the fuck I live, and so on and so forth, that somebody please come and do shit, have me, be given a little bit of money for cigarettes or something, just to at all find this bearable, or ideally demount the bloody proxy devices and so on and so forth. All manners of things. I would like to point out that I understand these. Oops, I think there's one to be scrolled here. I'll explain all what they tried to work because of the show, the what do they call it? The Big Bang Theory, theory or something. All of this had, you must understand. I'm in these fields the entire bloody day long. I understand that to some out there, what it says in the email seems, even if you read it chronologically, a little out of context, but you must understand that there are people out there who have access to the field extracts. And I assure you there are people out there who the fuck know that none of this is out of context. Here we are again. Actually, I'm not sure. I think it says, Watson. I'm not sure if that name is right. I remember rewatching the video. This is the Inolek bitch queen scene in the Inolek video. I'm not sure if her name is Watson, really. Somewhere it mentioned Watson, but I think in the video she gives another name. Maybe that's her cover name or her bitch queen name or whatever. I don't know, nor do I care. She's just another bitch queen. Here was something funny. The ITV lady voice originally. This is being her son offspring and how they do. Well, in at least over there in Britain, you'll know about the backgrounds to everything. This was interesting, yes. You should just, well, it says what you were supposed to do back in mid-November. Here it explains why I sent this email again. I just tested my own because I was given a feedback of the mail server that something was wrong, I think, with my own email address or something. So I just did a test mail here. They were messing with GMX, and on Austrian television they have GMX ads had recently, ex-Austrian television, in-your-face provocation and ridicule of me. Oh, the St. Edmunds burying, yeah. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it? Salzburg still has to go, I want to point that out. Just read the bloody mails. Who was that? Oh, that's another one of my videos. No, it's not. Oh, that. I wound up here because of one of them. I'm not even sure who. Well, it was who was that? It was somebody associated with DC Comics publishing in Belgium or France. He is in there in one of these videos. You just watch these videos. If you understand the mechanisms that are being worked on VIs and on the mannerism apps and whatnot, this should freak you the fuck out. I just want to point that out. But then, these be delusional French people. So let us not think about them, because chances are they're going to get their asses nuked anyhow. They're assis nuked anyhow. This was a interesting day insofar as that they had, where was that? Well, and you saw it earlier in the video. They succeeded to, they want to basically make me scream out, nuke the fucking world, when in fact, while that is a solution, it is of course naturally not the preferred solution. Where was that? Oh, fuck it. Here I succeeded to Okay, I sort of lost that map now. Wait a minute. Here I succeeded to break free of that. They worked this shit in some new approach via trying to remote scenario. It wasn't even the scenario. I'm not perfectly sure what they did. I busted out of it and freed up Scotland and Wales again. New Wales being that one, the new Wales, and this one being the new Scotland, being enlarged by parts that formerly were England. And even here I showed that these parts should be spared. Blah. Just read the bloody text. This is the annihilation plan for the North American continent. If Canada's role in this all is severer than I to this day think, then of course this would need to be somewhat adopted, I would like to point out. In fact, the funny thing is the adaptation would simply lie in inverting, so to speak, the zoning here from bottom down upwards. So just, you know, flip it upside down and you still have a pretty good annihilation plan. Yeah, there was tons of ridicule. Nuke them there. You got one of those today earlier. Oops. There. This one is interesting, just in case they kept this from you. I tried to. I explained a little about things. I explained a little about everything. I explained a little in the videos. I explained everything into the bloody field for years and years and years, and somebody out there. And I want to point out also, while I'm continuing here, there's nothing to do specifically with what I'm currently clicking on. I want to point out that there might be some party out there who are actually, believe it or not, selling, to whatever extent, field time, so to speak. I'm not kidding you. And these somebody, that party might be trying to create the impression, oh yeah, that crap, I'm not even going to click that. Might create the impression that they are neutral. There is no one neutral out there. This is about to prevent the extinction of mankind. And they say they're neutral in this. You cannot be neutral when it comes to the extinction of mankind. I am trying to save mankind, and there are idiots of Fix Mundi out there, unspeakable filth, who try to do mankind in. And in that battle, you cannot be neutral. But there are people who might actually make money on selling field time. Selling me as whatever to whatever interest group, as the great medium, as whatever, as someone channeled from the beyond, as the emperor of whatever, not even Warhammer specific, of the emperor of bloody whatever the fuck, maybe as some historic emperor, you know, or as a god for these Asian people. It's just ridiculous. But somebody out there might actually be selling field time, access time to the field, and they wouldn't be selling that shit cheap, I tell you. Incidentally, when I was at the Meidling Bahnhof today on a little walk, my phases tried, having been given that instruction through the field, I mean, they cannot really create vintage real VIs anymore, but here I explained how Google Maps is completely manipulated. As everything else out there, Wikipedia is even minor wikis are. and at the Bahnhof today, they briefly tried to create the impression that I were the, as in the emails here I called it the Maghreb goon, but trying to give me the walk and the posture of the Maghreb goon as he's trying to find coins in the vending machines there. I just mentioned that not because it worked, because it fizzled. I identified it right away and it ceased because it didn't never work because it was delusional, crap declared functionality that is not there. There's no actual functionality there supported. But I would just want to explain to the world how even at this point of things, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, in case they kept this from you. Very interesting. Little calendar from a Chinese restaurant. You get to see what is here. That even at this point, they still ridicule me to such an extent. I'm prime protector of mankind. I have established and explained how I'm head of the wolves and whatnot. I'm bloody emperor of fucking Games Workshop everything, and I am prime protector of mankind. I have been for years and years and years running that mankind liberation aiding agency that with the professionals was sown, so to speak. The seed that was planted then has come to fruition worldwide because this shit was sold everywhere. Oh, this, yeah. This is funny. This is the original man. And I assure you, this face and this face are not the same faces. This is a completely different man. In case they kept this shit from you. This is my own photograph taken. You can bloody read it. I might have kept a lot of shit from you. Here, this. Note the fake witch in the background here in the middle, working at him, whatever she is deluding herself to do, or the good or not so good 18th is deluding to do here, or whatever. You know, they're a little crazy in Albion. This was a bit of a sad day when I realized that a lot of these countries like Egypt and Iraq and whatnot that were basically annihilated via very real wars is because somebody figured there's something wrong with the eagles. Just that the eagle there was something wrong with was bloody ex-Austrian and ex-German delusional monarchy eagles. And somebody succeeded to get all the other eagles out of the game, which went as far in real life as that all of these countries being annihilated simply because they have a bloody eagle. When this is the bloody eagle you first and foremost were afterwards, including of course the German variation thereof, and of course their bloody delusion. They might have actually tried to go for a three-headed eagle or something like that, I'm not kidding you, in their monarchy delusions and magic work that their coat of arms. Oh, this is the video of Saddam Hussein's execution. I'm gonna hang all the Abwehramt and Abwehramt Dunstkreis at Praterstern here in Vienna. We have something that's called a pergola. It's some odd pillar construct of metal, and it easily holds. Oh, I forgot the number, but I've been looked at the whole thing and counted it, and it easily holds all the Abwehrams hanging down from there for public display. Oh, the IKEA. 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 In Austrian, this is pronounced IKEA. And no shit, this might be worked via, and this might be worked population-wise as a slave marker. It says here in German. But this is also possible to be worked internationally, mind you. And for those not capable of Viennese, der Praking cometh Adelspack. That means putting down, the process of putting down, as you can see by the eagle looking as it does. To dabrak something means to slay something. Alright, this is 12 recruited. There. Not sure if that's one of mine. Yes, that's not one of mine. This one is worse. The reason about me always getting wrong, even though I know precisely or would know otherwise, Virginia and West Virginia is because of not really them having worked anything to that, but just because them having done away with a direction, namely west. And if you do away with that direction, if you have severe blockers towards a lacking direction, you get disoriented, but moreover, all of a sudden you have Virginia, you don't know which of the bloody Virginias it is. And Werner Kurt-Giese, who I know I didn't probably never mention him here. Well, I did, because I mentioned the Roden Spinnenfutze. He was severely utilized. He was doing most of the scripting for the U.S. Army's Stargate fandom, let's put it that way. And he had, interestingly enough, he had a world where you had 5 heavenly directions, which also would contribute to severe disorientation. So this might be a variation thereof, I kid you not. Here I mention her, Marianne Zudo, as she called herself, who may actually not be dead at all or be kept in a limbo. Because she, I assure you, this woman was at the core of most everything science fiction writer and messing ongoing in Germany and beyond there, really the whole German-speaking area. Here I tried to, in case again there were word replacing things, I just typed it in and then took a screenshot of what I had typed so far and put it into the mail itself and added first that in the picture editing program, explaining what I was trying to do here. As I'm recruiting, they try to keep those recruited from the knowledge of being recruited, and that is why I try to have that knowledge reach them various ways. With Edward the 18th Duke of Norfolk, for instance, I also tried via the internet, via the Arundel Castle homepage. I sent a contact there to, actually, come to think, it probably might, did we already have it here? I'm not sure if I sent it via the website or, well, I sent some message to their gardener, the head gardener of Arundel Castle, Martin Lennox or something, a very odd sounding name by the way. I seriously said Nuke Freiland, nobody bloody did it. And this is no joke, starting here. Sounds a little trivial. I assure you this is not. There are people out there deluding me to be all manners of things. And no kidding, when I was at the hospital, they incinerated, not via me, because that was what I was vigilant for, but apparently to a certain extent via another woman there. A very friendly, not at all forced seeming, pathetic little scene of me humping her. And, well, you take it from there. This is not kidding. Here they have a coin. The reason this is hard to explain to anybody who does not quite understand what the fuck's going on and been going on. The reason why this is preposterous is because it says 1985, which pertains to nothing, to 2015, which pertains to nothing. So the Adelspack and ilk might have declared themselves, as I in 2014 declared Freiland. They might have said, well, St. Vincent just declared the Holy Roman fuckwet country of Azuturia or something, and they actually went as far as to make coin. This is a real coin. It's a scan of a coin, mind you. This, I'm not making this up. They have produced coins that are circulating out there. Here's another little thing of how they fuck up the coat of arms of everything. Look at this beauty. Isn't she cute? It, whatever. Well, it is tits. I guess it's a... Then again, it has a fire spewing dick, so whatever it is. Some really odd creatures out there. Oh, this is magnificent. Just go bloody read that. And see how... Oh, wait a minute. There's something missing here, no? And I noted, well, these be Eskimo girls. Those might also be NASA pants, really. Right? I'm just saying. Oh, this is Mozart, yeah. The new number 11 being MI5 and MI6 jointly. That was the numbering of this here. Here, follow the arrow here. This should have been 92, really. And this would have been then the 92 Nachbemerkung correcting it. Yeah, these are the fake Department S. Oh, this was Lucas doing, George Lucas. He was so fucking proud of himself, yes, to a pathetic extent. And the people who built the Cleaver just ridiculed him to a magnificent extent, I should say. Really, you know, shoving all the pathos in his delusion of grandeur back his way. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that some of the ridiculing he didn't even get, because he must be one thick piece of shit. Up there. This is today's video about, you know, the proxy fields mostly. And by hacking these proxy fields around me, I mean the bloody devices. They are connected via regular IT, very earthly, that is what I mean by regular. No alien, no magic, no nothing. Earthly IT infrastructure. These devices are attached to somewhere, and you can just go bloody hack them dead, and you should the fuck. And Bonnie Fuck Fuck, if you have seen the videos, you know who Bonnie Fuck Fuck is. If not, fucking Prince Charles, the highest scoring mass murderer alive. And no, I assure you, I do not mean in that semi-delusional war game being played in sub-virtuality, but in reality. There. And that's it. So, and I'll stop the video and load this up.